All right, guys, we're live. What's going on? Welcome to the Fantasy Draft Morning Wood After Hours show. I'm Eric Crane, joined by two-thirds of the Wood crew. The Hoopster, he can't join us. He's got a little party going on for the Michigan football game.
Went down, too. It's a rough night to be the Hoopster. I mean,
hey, you know what? That's what he gets. You know, if he's going to ditch us, that's what he gets as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Like,
Hoopster. I agree.
Yeah. If you had no shot as soon as you said, I got to watch the game. I can't jump on that wood, buddy. We're here to jump on the wood with you, and yet you're gone. Anyways, I'm ready to talk some football.
Jumping on that wood tonight.
Yeah, they were, just spanking them around the yard. I actually thought, did you get to watch the end of the game?
Yeah, it was a crazy end when the guy got a holding penalty for no reason.
Yeah, I got the holding penalty, and then I actually thought that Hail Mary had a shot, too.
It looked like he caught it at first.
Yeah. The ball disappears in the crowd, and you're like, oh! And then, of course,
how dumb was the other team? A holding penalty, and then just the most blatant late hit out of bounds I've ever seen in my life. Like, guy's 5 yards out of bounds, and he just drags him.
Then he gives what did I do? I didn't do anything. Yeah. No.
The only thing the team can't move the ball at all, and you're just going to two dumb penalties.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. Did you ever play football and stuff like that in the rain like that? Because that just looked miserable.
Yeah, it's fun.
See,
it's actually funner than it looks. Like it makes you feel like just a manly man.
Yeah. See, I was in the marching band. We had some rain practices. We were pretty hardcore.
The rain's still fun. You're not a rain guy?
I'm way down here. The velocity is really picked up by the time it hits me. Up where you are, you tall boy, you're up there. You're just barely hits you. By the time it gets down to me, it's like a bullet coming down from the sky, man.
Speaking of tall guys, my uncle today was like, I got to meet this cheese. I can't believe he's 7 foot tall. I was just laughing.
Oh, I love it. Well,
he's that much taller than you, he said? I said, yeah, he's a lot taller.
It's 7'2". We walked around Nashville last year like owner and pet, you know. It was just a very it was crazy. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this slate because it's a fun slate. And by the way, guys, fantasy draft, you get to play the Sunday night game. You get to play the Monday night game. So this is, as always, every single week, if we're trying to win that top play, all right, if you're trying to be that absolute number one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you need to be looking at these night games because nobody else looks at them. Everybody's already loaded up on the early stuff. You're looking at the Chiefs against the Texans, the Bears, and the Vikings. That Vikings passing attack is sneaky this week, I think. And, of course, we'll get into that. All right, let's go ahead and talk quarterbacks, though, Tony, because the most expensive guy is Aaron Rodgers, and he's a lot more expensive than the second most expensive guy in Russell Wilson. He's $2,000 more. Rodgers, 15.3. I think he's going to be the highest-scoring quarterback on the slate. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think obviously point per dollar. I don't think he'll be the best, but I think he's the overall top play. If I had to pick, on a site like Draft or whatever, where you don't need price, I would take him first for sure.
Yeah, but when I'm looking at fantasy draft, here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers: they don't have a running back right now. Ty Montgomery's out; he might throw the ball 50 times in this game. It's going to be Jordy, Cobb.
That tempo, though, you don't think Dallas is going to slow it down at all?
That's what I'm a little bit worried about, honestly. I can't imagine that Dallas just lets them throw a million times a game. That said, Rodgers, 302 touchdowns seems like a lock, right?
Yeah,
that seems like an absolute lock.
Even if Dallas plays slow, I think he gets 302.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, if that's the floor, and I kind of think it is, that ceiling we're looking at, 350 and 4 or something like that, maybe even 400 yards. I think he's going to be the highest scoring guy, and I don't think he's going to be too popular because a lot of people, they want to pay up for Le'Veon Bell.
Be popular.
Yeah, and people want to pay up for Le'Veon Bell. People want to pay up, for Zeke this week, and I like both those guys. But, people don't normally like to pay up for quarterback. People are paying down at quarterback, so I actually don't hate the idea of Rodgers in tournaments. I think he's going to be the highest scorer. Russ Wilson, I like him in tournaments as well. Dak Prescott, though, here's your chalk because everybody's talking at Dak. Tony, can you remember a week where it was Dak Prescott chalk week? Not only chalk week, but when he was the third most expensive quarterback on a slate?
Yeah, I was going to say the only time I remember is week 1 when we were at the RG party where he was just a starter for – that was the only reason he was chalk because it was his first game as a starter and he was 5K or whatever, 10K, I guess, on fantasy draft. So, yeah, and like we said, I think Dallas is going to play the running game, play pretty slow. I don't mind Dak. I think he has a high floor. I don't think he's a bad cash game play, but I don't like him in tournaments at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing Dak in tournaments either, and I think he's going to be popular. Like that Dak to Dez stack is going to be super popular. Now, if you're wanting to save money, I think there are a number of ways you can go at quarterback. Jacoby Brissett, did you know he's going to be chalk this week?
I like him too. I don't want to like him, but I just can't help but like him. Like,
don't do it.
He's going to get a rushing touchdown. That one rushing and one passing is all you need.
Yeah, no, not to win a tournament though.
I'm talking floor though. Like he could easily end up 4 touchdowns.
I'm not on Jacoby.
What don't you like about him?
I like somebody cheaper.
But what don't you like about him though?
He's really, really bad under pressure. And the thing is, like,
you think they're going to just load pressure on him?
San Fran's got one of the better pass rushes in football, and Indy can't stop the pass rush. Like Jacoby's going to be in a really tough spot. It's going to be a lot of dump offs to Hilton, I think, and I'm going to like T.Y. Hilton. I actually like the other side of this game a lot more. Brian Hoyer, I see this like Indianapolis team, and they just get torched by quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. We know they're good against the run. It's like not a joke that they're good against the run. Like they actually have really good pieces against the run. They probably will throw the ball 35, maybe even 40 times. I love Hoyer in this game, and his price at $10K over on Fantasy Draft is just way too cheap.
Yeah, I agree. Like this game sticks off the page to me. I guess I like Hoyer more than Brissett. I like them both pretty equal. I do like Hoyer just because, what is he, $1,200 cheaper. So you get a nice, just dead minimum $10K price tag, which is nice this week because you can fit a lot. And we'll get to tight end too, and I have a sleeper tight end that I just absolutely love this week that
really
to connect with.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. I wish we would have talked about this before.
I mean, he is now because I was talking about it. My boy Kittles and Bits.
Oh, you have fun.
I love him.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
He's going to crush. I mean, Indy's like the worst team in the league at stopping the tight end. It's just perfect matchup. 90% of plays. He's got a decent amount of looks so far. He's had tough matchups. I don't know. Like, I just love everything about it. We'll get to
I think I'm just eating chalk at tight end this week. Like, I'm going to eat Evan Ingram and Austin Seferian-Jenkins chalk. Like, I know that's not.
I know about ASJ too, but it feels like his price just went too high.
He's $7K.
That feels high to me. I don't know. Like, first of all, I was all in on him last week. I had him on every team, so I watched him close. I don't know. Like, I do like him though.
I'll tell you, I've got a sneaky tight end that you're probably not on that. If you're paying up a little bit from ASJ, but we can talk about that here in a little bit. Any quarterbacks we missed on, we're definitely not playing Cam. We took our L last week, but we're not going to.
The most polarizing to me, on Fantasy Draft, because you can't play him on the other sites, is Deshaun Watson, just because he's been incredible. Now he's got a tough matchup. Sunday night game. The way he runs, though, can we use him still?
No. I'm not playing Deshaun Watson.
You think he's good, first of all, or you just think it's fluky?
I mean –
because I think he's good.
I think I'm glad he's on the night slate, so I don't have to worry about him.
I'm glad that whole game's on the night slate because, to me, that game could shoot out again, like all Houston games have, or it could be low scoring. So I'm glad that game's not on there. To be honest.
I'm definitely going to play Kelsey at tight end, and we can talk about that later, of course, too. But I
love him on Fantasy Draft, Kelsey.
Yeah, and the thing is, these Chiefs linebackers, they're not fast. It's like Derek Johnson's playing on his 8th knee, after replacement after replacement after replacement. Like Deshaun definitely has some rushing upside. Okay, you're talking me into it. Oh, boy. Any other quarterback? Oh, we should touch on Carson Palmer because he's going to be really chalky this week, too. He's $11K at Philly. We know Philly, it's a pass funnel there. We know Carson Palmer, he's probably going to throw the ball 50 times. He's had over 48 pass attempts in 3 of his 4 games this year. And I like Palmer this week. I just don't think he's going to make the list for me, Tony.
I just can't do it. I know everything points in the direction that he's going to have a pretty good week. He's even cheap. I just don't like it. I don't feel good about it. I like Philly's D a little bit, like everyone does. I mean, they're pretty chalky, but I just don't like Arizona this week. So I have a hard time playing Carson when I don't like the team, even though the matchup's good.
Is there anybody I missed on that you want to talk about?
Trying to look. Really sneaky, really ugly play that I like is Cutler with both receivers. That's a one-team play, by the way. I'm not saying a key play, but if you're playing 10 teams, 6 teams even, I think I'm going to have one Cutler team with both receivers.
Well, the thing is, Jarvis Landry and Devontae Parker, I mean, collectively, they get 55% of the targets on that team. And we know that Tennessee, they can't cover the pass. I have no problem with that play at all. And
God, he's so bad, though. It's so hard to do it.
Oh, of course. It's not, I mean, plus, Cutler, like, he might just retire in the middle of the game. Like, he very clearly
just start smoking in the middle of the game.
Yeah, just, Jay, this is your 8th straight delay of game penalty.
I do got one other guy, actually. I was looking through the list to try to remember. I love my boy. No one's going to like him either, but Mr. Wentz. Like Philadelphia, big favorite, high total. None of the matchups are good. So almost like naked Wentz or with Ertz. I mean, you can obviously use Ertz, but I just think Philly scores some points, and they throw the ball so much that I like him.
I get it. I mean, the only guy who has a good matchup on that team, and I'm uncomfortable with saying it, is my boy Torrey Smith, who I'm just going to –
I love Torrey Smith. I'm going to go Torrey Smith. It's crazy. Boy. They're going to be favored by 7 at kickoff. One of the highest totals of the week at home.
I know.
They're going to score points. Like, someone has to do it. It's not going to be the running game. So
you don't think it's going to be LeGarrette Blount?
Huh?
You don't think it's going to be LeGarrette Blount?
I do not think it's going to be LeGarrette Blount. I think it's going to be Torrey Smith catching 2 bombs for us to win the Millie.
I'll tell you what, if Torrey Smith catches 2 bombs and you're looking at those winning lineups on fantasy
draft, I think he's going to catch
it's going to be one of those.
Heavy like me, really?
I'm not heavy, but I'll have 10 or 15%.
Oh, I'm going to have more than that. I'm going to have like 30 or 40%. I love him. I'm glad you like him because I feel good now. I thought I was on an island.
I mean, well, we're on an island together, but buddy, we got each other, and that's all we need.
They're going to score points. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they get in the 30s easy.
I get it. I just can't figure out where they're going to come from. That's my biggest issue.
Wins for sure.
That matchup, Alshon's going to be shadowed. Ertz, like Arizona, just never gives it up to tight ends. The running defense there is solid.
Ertz just gets so much volume, though, that I think he might get a little something. I don't love him, though, so, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think I'm paying up at tight end this week, except fantasy draft where I'm going to play Kelsey. All right, let's go to running back. Le'Veon Bell, most expensive guy out there. He's $18K. You're getting a bit of a discount from the other sites, but can we afford him this week? That's my big question.
You said Lev Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in cash games, I think you just play him and figure the rest out. Mm-hmm. I mean, neither one of us are huge cash game guys, but I can't imagine fading him in a cash game, but – in tournaments, he's going to be massive owned. He's going to be the chalkiest player of the season so far, I think. So, sure, you can fade. Anytime a running back's going to be 50% owned, I mean, you can fade him, but I don't know if I want to. I like so many cheap guys that it's pretty easy for me to.
Me too. Like I think the mid range this week is super strong. I don't really like. Everybody's like, "Oh, the pricing is tight." Yeah,
everyone says that every week though, because it's the cash people. Like
people
want the most obvious plays ever, and like.
Oh look, Le'Veon Bell is $6,000. I'd like to play him. I am so sharp. No, we ain't got none of that.
The pricing does not feel. I mean, it is easier when we just play tournaments and we don't play one lineup for all the money, but. So I get what they're saying, but it doesn't feel as tight to me either.
I mean, if you can get Bell in, great. But the thing is, like I said, we're tournament guys. So what does he need to score for us to be like, crap, we can't win without him? 35?
If he gets definitely 35. If he gets close to 30, like I want him. Like
I think he'll get like 22, like 22.
Yeah, like I'm happy if I fade him and he gets 22.
Yeah, like if he gets 30, I think you could fade him at 30. I really do. At that price, he's so much more, and I actually really like.
That's a lot of points, though. And I don't think. I mean, if I told you he's getting 30, there's no way you're not playing him. If I told you right now he's getting 30, you're not going to just play him.
I mean, I better be using those. Those are going to be my Brian Hoyer teams. Like you can't play Aaron Rodgers and Jordy and him together. You can't do it. I've tried.
I mean, yeah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to have that build anyways, for the most part.
Yeah, it's really hard to do. So, like, it's like, again, I like Lev Bell. I'm just not sure I can afford him. So, who are some of the guys that you can afford at running back? Because, like, we've kind of talked about this earlier. We said these night games where they're not on the other sites, you can really get some nice leverage because not as many people are playing these guys. Kareem Hunt at Houston, 16-2 on fantasy draft. Nobody's going to play him, and he's probably the best running back or one of the 2 or 3 best running backs in football.
He's just – I'm so annoyed with the volume. We talk about it every show we do, but, like, Andy Reid just doesn't want to give him a huge workload. Last week, let's see what he got. He got only 65% of the snaps again. So 3 of the 4 weeks, actually all 4 weeks, he's been 73% or below. 3 of the 4 weeks, he's been below 70% of the snaps. I just hate how they don't use him more. Last week, they really pounded him towards the end of the game. I mean, I think he's right there with Lev Bell as the most talented guy in football. So I'm never going to, hate him, but I don't think I can play him this week, even on the site where we got him.
Talk to me about something, because nobody's playing Melvin Gordon, right? Have you heard anybody talking about
I'm not playing him. You don't like Melvin Gordon, do you?
Sure, I do. I mean, look at the Giants have been getting torched on the ground. Melvin Gordon, he's going to get 20 touches in this game.
He's so bad.
Hold on, let me pull up the list. I just wrote this up for my subs. If you want to check it out over on RotoGrinders. No. Okay, here's a list of the guys who have absolutely torched the Giants' run defense as I look this up. So, all right, Zeke went for 100 against him. Amir Abdullah, he sucks. 86 yards.
He's better than Gordon, though.
No, he's not.
Gordon sucks.
Okay, Gordon isn't great, but he's better than Amir Abdullah.
He was so bad last year, but he just got lucky. He'd always fall down on the one and get a goal line carry, and he just.
Hey, that counts just the same, buddy.
I know, believe me. I mean, I've been fading Hunt all year, watching him get the 1 yard or the breakaway touchdowns, and man.
I mean, you look at LeGarrette.
Zeke, and who?
Week 3, LeGarrette Blount and Wendell Smallwood, they had 24 carries and had 138 yards.
Yeah.
Both those guys, by the way, are worse than Melvin Gordon. We can agree on that.
I do agree with that.
Okay. Last week, Jaquiz had 16 carries, had 83 yards on those 16 carries. Gordon's going to get more carries than any of those guys. He's off the injury report. What am I missing here?
Just you got to click on his.
He's really cheap.
Just because you're looking at the other matchups, you still got to look at his numbers too, though. And his numbers, I mean, 10 for 22, 9 for 13, 18 for 54. It's embarrassing how bad he's been.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's going to pick it up, though, it's one of the higher totals. It's not really high, but it's still 43. I don't hate it. Another guy I like quite a bit, Chris McCaffrey, 10-7. This is a great match.
He's due for just a breakout game for us. I mean,
and Detroit, their linebackers, they're just not that great in coverage. I like CMC a lot. Who else are you looking at?
I like the CMC call. He's got a bunch of targets, and he's got to break out one of these weeks.
Speaking of has to break out one of these weeks, how are you feeling about Joe Mixon?
He made me mad last week. Perfect matchup. He still got, let me see his workload. So he got 18 carries 2 weeks ago, 17 carries last week. He got 4 targets. So the last 2 weeks, he's got over 20 touches. I feel like he needs to be doing more. I mean, his line sucks, so I get it. I mean, the line is just awful. But one of these weeks he's going to go off. It's just this week I'm not going to have him. So go ahead.
So is this week that it's going to start happening? I mean, I'm definitely going to take Chris McCaffrey for 300 more than Joe Mixon. So
it's hard to take Mixon this week. I mean,
hey, somebody in the chat, Caleb, he says east to west noon start for the Chargers. I think he meant west. Wait, east from west. Sorry, I had to get my little hands up to figure it out for the Chargers. Do you ever care about this? I never care about it. But I don't care about it at all. It's like
they travel on a luxury jet. They stay in 5-star hotels, and you don't get jet lag like normal people. They're not traveling in coach.
Yeah, and plus, guess what? They're not waking up and be like, boy, I sure am tired. I need to cook some eggs. I'd like some bacon, play an NFL football game. These guys are so freaking hyped up every single game. There's just –
and I always just feel like stats like that always balance in the long term. Sure, some days they might be tired, but they could be tired at home, just like me and you are tired some days, and some days we have more energy.
It's true.
Just part of
well, I'm tired most of the time.
They might be too, though. Someone that crushed again last week. Duke Johnson, just another crush fest.
I was waiting on you to bring up the Duke.
I don't like him this week, though. Finally, we got a bad game script for him.
It doesn't matter. He's still going to get targets. Wait, hold on. If you're concerned about the game script.
What do I say about him every time? That they're going to be losing and dumping off to him 10 times, and they might be winning this week. So I don't know.
The west to east noon start matters for the Cardinals. Yeah, I just think that's more variance than anything, guys. And maybe I'm wrong. It's just not something I believe in. Like, I just refuse to believe it. But hold on, Tony, I want to hear it because how brave are you feeling? Because if you're saying it's a bad game script for the Duke, you know who it might be a good game script for?
Crowell.
Yeah, baby. Come on. I know you're with me on Isaiah.
He's been awful this year, but he was highly touted coming into the year. I like him. I mean, obviously it's risky, and he's been bad, so I do like him this week, though. I'll definitely have some shares.
Yeah, and like if it doesn't, then look, the targets or the carries have been down. I get it. If it doesn't happen this week, though, you can just cross them off the list going forward. So you play him this week, and if it doesn't work out, well, then you're done. Anybody cheaper than this? Andre Ellington, 9,100. He should see plenty of targets against Philly.
I like Ellington a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ellington's solid in PPR and fantasy draft. Of course, PPR site, so we like him there.
He's like the Duke Johnson play this week. Like they're going to get down and they're just going to dump it off to him 10 times again. Like I love Ellington this week.
Are you on Wayne Gallman with some of the people?
I just don't like the Giants. Like they just don't do it for me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm probably going to fall for a little bit of Gallman just because that price. He's 7,700 on fantasy draft. Like, it's just so cheap. You're so cheap, Wayne.
They've been talking him up, too. Like, it definitely is an interesting play.
Yeah,
what about Frank the Tank? Everyone's on Frank the Tank this week.
Frank Gore?
Everyone's on him. He's got the dream matchup, I hear.
The Browns are good against the run.
The Niners.
Oh, it's the Niners. I got those confused. Damn it. I was doing so good.
That's because both those crappy games blend in together. All four of the teams are like the same.
Wait, hold on. What am I missing here? I'm just like losing my shit for a second. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I'm not playing Frank Gore. I'm just not going to do it. Not going to do it. I don't want to play Frank Gore. Like, if I lose because I don't roster Frank Gore, whatever. Like, I can live with that. I'm not going to
more of like a cash play, like high floor, not going to ever kill you with a high tournament type thing.
Yeah, like whatever. All right, let's go to wide receiver. If you're paying up, it can be a struggle because I think this mid-range is really strong. But Antonio Brown, he's cheap, Tony. Like, I know Jacksonville's been good. I know he's going to shout by Jalen Ramsey. $16K for Antonio Brown, man. It seems too cheap.
Like, if you're fading Bell on a team, you better come back with that passing attack because Pittsburgh's going to score points. Like, leverage the field. Play Big Ben. Play Brown. Play Bryant. Leverage the field up against Bell if you fade him on a team. Like, they're back at home. This is the spot where they crush. I know Jacksonville's corners are good. Their funnel defense favors the run, but they're going to be low-owned at home.
Yeah, it's probably not going to make my list. One guy I'm interested in, AJ Green, though. Keep watching the news in the morning. If EJ Gaines is out, I think AJ Green could have a huge day. We talked about Jordy Nelson. Again, you're pairing with Rodgers. I think he's great. But it's this range when you get down to kind of Larry Fitzgerald at 12-7, Tony. That is just crazy strong. And I'm just going to name off some of these guys, all right? Fitz, 12-7. Cobb, 12-6. Parker, 12-3. Dez, 12-3. Golden Tate, 11-9. Garcon, 11-4. T.Y. Hilton, 11-3. Jarvis Landry, 11. I think I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, and
Carson there too.
What's not to like about Carson? J.J. Nelson went off against this team.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, this is why I'm having trouble. We were talking about Antonio Brown. This is why I'm having trouble paying up for it because this mid-range is just crazy strong.
But that's why it's easy to play Bell too. Like Bell should be over 50% owned because of all of these cheap guys.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm going to pay up for Rodgers and Jody. Like I can fade Bell.
Every team. My
teams are looking very like I've got a lot.
You're playing Rodgers and Jordy on every team.
I'm iffy. Like
I like it. I love power moves with quarterbacks and combos like that. That's a Tony move.
I really might. Like, how does it kill me?
Because then when they crush, all you have to hit is the other combos.
Yeah, like how does that combination ever kill me? I haven't decided I'm doing this.
Bell goes for 40.
I mean, I can weasel Bell. I'll probably still have 10% Bell with that combo, but the other stuff's going to be
all this value. You can. I mean, let me pull fantasy draft up here.
All right, that's probably good for the show.
If we play Rodgers, we play Jordy, we play Bell, we play just some defense, just whoever on D. Who's a good cheap D on there?
I guess Miami.
Miami, yeah, let's put Miami in there. Yeah, so then, yeah, you got 90-40. It's a little tough, but
I can live with that. Absolutely. Hold on. I'm going to put Miami in there.
Put just some cheap tight end in there.
Find my Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
Oh, yeah. If you play Kittle in there, you got 10-3.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, then you're living in that mid-range where we just talked about. See, now you're looking at it. You're looking at this build. You're like,
I am. It looks tasty.
That's what I was building my lineups, and I'm like, how does this?
That's with Bell in there too. So if you don't put him in there, you're just loaded.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not like people. Oh, the pricing's tight this week. You guys are just wimps. The pricing is not tight this week, guys. Like any other wideouts that we haven't talked about. I like John Brown. That's another one I'm interested in.
Receivers just loaded to me this week. Like just so many crush plays.
I can't believe you brought up. Oh, what was that crappy receiver? We brought up Torrey Smith.
Yeah,
there's like a more annoying version of Torrey Smith out there. I'm looking for his price. There it is. And you talk about leverage plays. I know you like talking about it. This guy is the number 2 receiver against a team that's not good. And the number 1 receiver is going to be crazy chalky. He's cheap, and he has big playability. If I told you all that, would you be interested?
I mean, yeah. Unless it's Palmer throwing to him.
It's not.
Oh.
It's Jacoby Brissett throwing to him.
Oh, you don't have to sell me on Indy. I love Indy.
Dante Moncrief, you on Team Dante?
And, well, with Doyle out too, like they have to throw it somewhere. So yeah, I love Moncrief.
Yeah, and I like Hilton a ton this week. But would it shock you if San Fran just said we're not going to let T.Y. Hilton beat us? Like that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Like 9 million feet for Arizona. Brandon Drury.
He didn't even start, did he?
Nope. He just hit one like 30 rows up in left field.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't start against a lefty, but Lamb and Descalso started against a lefty. Managers are fun. Did you see that Cubs game earlier? Not to get distracted on baseball, but
I didn't.
They let Harper hit a bomb to tie it, a 2-run bomb in the 7th or whatever, off a righty. They were already in the bullpen, so they let a righty face Harper, right? 3 batters later with 2 on, the lefty's finally in, Montgomery for the Cubs. They let Montgomery stay in and face Zimmerman, who hits a 3-run bomb. So Madden left a righty in to face Harper and then a lefty in to face Zimmerman. They got 2 bombs.
Hey, you know what? Joe Madden, you can only get so cute for so long. Like
that's egregious. Even the Harper, whatever, it was a good reliever. But how do you leave a lefty in against Zimmerman? His splits are like some of the highest in baseball.
EGO. That's how you do it. All that Joe Madden ego. It ain't no joke. Hey, mute your YouTube video, by the way. I can hear me echoing.
Really? It's not on there.
Oh, well,
I don't
okay.
have sound on there. I don't know. It's still up.
Test. Nope, we're good. All right. Let's talk some tight ends. We already talked. Tony likes some Kittles and bits. I like me some Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I like me some Evan Ingram. Like I hate eating chalk at tight end. I just think they're the best plays this week. Who else you got for me, Tony?
I hate tight end this week. It's one of the reasons
it's ugly.
I love Kittle at 5K because just give me bare minimum price. I love the matchup. I was on him a few weeks ago versus the Rams too, and I liked how he played. He dropped a couple balls, but I liked him. I like ASJ too at 7K. I'm probably gonna have almost all of just those 2 guys. I mean, I have a hard time playing Ertz at 11.7. Even Kelsey at 11.3 is tough. I think I'll have some shares, but I don't really want to pay up for those guys.
No, I hear you, man. I kind of feel the same way. How interested are you in somebody who had 7 targets last week? Would that interest you if there's a tight end that's really going to be unowned that had 7 targets last week?
7 targets. What cheap price range too?
Nah, not cheap, but not too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested.
A little Marty Bennett against Dallas for 8,100.
I was hoping you didn't say him, actually. I was just staring at him because I play him every week, and he just never catches the ball.
I mean, but now if Devontae Adams is out there, are going to be more passes to go around. We know Bennett.
Like Adams is playing for sure.
Is he playing for sure?
He traveled, and they act like he's going to play for sure unless there's
I don't know, dude. Like, it's unbelievable how tough these guys are. Like,
it's crazy.
does it make it makes me feel inadequate. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Marty Bennett. What are we doing with Jimmy Graham against the Rams?
I mean, if you're playing Russell Wilson, I guess. I do like Seattle. I didn't talk about him when we were – well, what do you think about Russ to Baldwin? I mean, is it that week finally? Is it ever going to be that week?
It was that week 2 weeks ago. I told you when it was that week, and you made fun of me.
It was Baldwin. Did Baldwin do it?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah, BDB. I'm not going to tell you what BDB means, but you can figure it out.
Where's
Thank you. Oh, I'm clicking on it. He's 13-2 on fantasy draft game log. Yeah, he had 29.
Oh, yeah, 29's tasty.
Yeah, remember when I told you? I said Doug Baldwin, this is the week.
Don't get me started on that game. That game was 9-7, like 3 minutes to go in the third, and then the thing just snowballed like I've never seen in my life.
I'm sorry, do those not count?
You were right.
That happens every time I play a Seattle stack, by the way. Like last year,
they have as much upside as anyone. Like when they go off, they go off.
Yeah, and they're running the ball now. Like Russ is running the ball now too, so that just increases the floor and the ceiling. Don't hate that either. All right, real quick, guys. If you have any questions, hurry up. That was Odell week 2. You're right. That was Odell week. That was the week I was talking about.
Start sucking you off. Well, that was Odell week 2. This guy's just Caleb's just getting in there on the wood and getting a little penetration.
I love it. All right, give me a couple defenses that you like.
Whew, defense is always like a feel in the morning, like a line move or this or
yeah.
I mean, I guess Philly. I like Miami as long as we don't know about Mariota still, right?
No, not yet.
I mean, it's just so much depending on what happens in the morning. Injuries, weather, like if we get rain, wind somewhere. Like there's bad weather everywhere back here right now. You saw that Michigan game tonight. It's a monsoon out at my house. Cincinnati, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow in Cincy. So Cincy's D is interesting against Buffalo, as well as Buffalo's defense is interesting against Dalton. I mean, Dalton's been known to throw it to the other team. But point being, the weather can impact a ton on a Sunday. So I'm not really on a defense yet.
What about – I'll tell you what. Why don't we double down on what we were wrong about last week and play the Lions against Carolina?
I don't know if I actually do like the Lions now.
Yeah, come on, I know you.
Cam's had a rough week, like calling out the ladies.
Yeah, he's this guy who's just like.
Did you see that apology too?
You what?
Did you see the apology?
Oh yeah, the apology that I'm sure he didn't have anybody else film or write for him.
Oh yeah, I wonder how many takes
that. God, if you guys bought that apology, like
he didn't even apologize right away. He could have said anything, and I wouldn't have believed it.
No, but you know what? No, yeah, he waited to get cut by his sponsor before he actually apologized. So, whatever, Cam. Way to go. You're gonna suck. And he always does it. Like the guy's just an emotional wreck. Like he's a child. He's throwing a fit. He's gonna get out on the field. Now I had my big game against New England. My sponsors cut me. His head is gonna be everywhere except this game. Play the Lions defense and thank me later.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to pay it for the Steelers, I'm not going to argue with you there. What about – I'll tell you what, here's a sneaky defense nobody's going to play. Can we play the Vikings against Mitch Trubisky's first start?
I like – and you know what else about it is no one's going to play a defense on a Monday night game because they just don't think about it. Like it's not even on their other – I didn't even think about it because it wasn't on the other slates. So – that might be the winner, and it's priced way up. I mean, $7,300.
Nobody's playing them.
You're going to literally get that team unowned, and they have as much upside as you could possibly have.
Yep, absolutely.
Sucks anyways. Like that's it. I like that call a lot.
I got you, buddy. That's one of the nice things about playing fantasy.
All the way around. Minnesota's passing game, like that game's interesting to me.
I don't hate Minnesota's and plus, they might get Sam Bradford back too.
Well, that's what I was counting on, actually. Like him coming back and being unowned against the Bears Monday night. What's we got? Oh, man, that total's low.
Every total's low. If you're only looking at high totals, you might as well either play Rodgers or Dak.
Yeah, this week's nice for, like, the totals because, yeah, I'm not going to play much Dak. And, yeah, I like the totals this week. But still, it still is alarming when you see under 40 on there.
Yeah. Yep, but whatever. That makes me think maybe they don't think Sam's going to play either way. If he does play, he's going to do well because, well, It's the Bears. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Tony, thanks for joining me. I'm glad 2/3 of the wood could get on tonight. I'm not too happy with our boy Hoop, but Hoop, I know you're watching. Actually, you're probably not watching, but if you're watching,
definitely not watching us right now.
No, you get the guy from
Hoopster's got to be drunk right now.
Oh, 100%. Oh, cool. Hey, Hoop, you have the link, buddy. I sent you the link if you want to jump in the Hangouts real quick. We're going to get Hoop in here. Hey, guys. You're going to be throwing up on air again.
Hoop's on the workbench.
Shit. The workbench. Nope. Way to go, Hoop. You're tougher than I am. I'm sitting here still doing football research.
That was a quickie. What is this guy talking about? That was a quickie one. We were on here a while. We talked longer than we have the past couple weeks.
Yeah, we were on for half an hour, Caleb. What are you doing, Caleb?
It had to be long. It was only a half hour. Felt like it was even longer.
Well, that tends to happen.
We covered everything. We were going over it in detail.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know what? When it's just two of us, we can do that. We can fly.
What's wrong with a quickie? Well, what's wrong with a quickie?
Yeah, and by the way, if 30 minutes was a quickie, I'm a god. Anyways,
it's like combined time for me for the last decade.
All right, guys, we're gonna get off here. Thanks for watching, everybody. For Tony, I'm Eric. Thank you so much, Fantasy Draft, for sponsoring the show. Play there, you get the lower rake. Real quick, guys, high rollers. The Carolina Millions qualifier. I want to touch on that real quick. What's going on this week? $777 buy-in. It's 50 of 130 for full. Get in there. The trip and the everything. The payout structure is amazing. The trip is going to be a blast. It's not one of these live finals. We're going to beat 17 million people. You go out there, you got a real shot to hit a massive score. Again, I've already said I'm going to win. I haven't qualified yet, but I'm still going to win because, well, that's how I roll. And, all right, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Tony, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much, Fantasy Draft, for sponsoring the show. Check it out. Highly recommend it because, well, they're the only site out there that's actually taking care of the players right now. For Tony, I'm Eric. We'll see you guys later. Peace.